Hi guys, Jeff Westfall with you again for some more posterior kicking drills. Today we're going to look at footwork. But before we do, I want to talk about a concept that I'm stealing from grappling genius John Danaher. He likes to talk about in any given mini game within the bigger game, the central problem of that little mini game. The posterior kicking game is a mini game within your larger game, and it has a central problem. And that central problem is most of your limbs are pointing the wrong way when you're using posterior kicking. You can't use them for protection, you can't use them for offense. All you really have to a large degree is the leg you're kicking with. To a certain degree, you've got the ability to stiff arm a little bit with this hand. That definitely helps sometimes. But the fact that you're pointing yourself in an unusual direction, I won't say awkward. If you've trained it, it's not awkward, but it is an unusual direction, can cause you problems. So you need to be sharp. You need to train this position. You need to train your side kick, because your number one protection in this position is your ability to throw the side kick again and again. That's a scary thing for an opponent to walk into if they've eaten one. If they've eaten one, they're probably not fighting very much anymore. If you've developed your side kick to the proper level. Anyway, what we want to talk about today is entries into the structure. Now the structure that I'm talking about, I showed you last time, is my weight is already on my base foot. I'm already turned a little bit this way so that my hip is oriented towards the opponent. This foot can be here, here, here. Since there's no weight resting on it, it doesn't matter. It's possible to be here. I don't like how that exposes my base leg though. But under certain conditions for a moment, you can be in the chamber position fighting from there. So this is our basic structure. How are we going to get into it? Well, the simplest way to get into it is to throw a side kick from a different structure. And the first way we're going to look at that is, let's say I'm in my boxing structure and my opponent begins to orbit me, begins to circle me. So I'll move a little bit in the frame here. I'm in my boxing structure and the opponent begins to circle me that way. Well, as I stand like this, my side kick doesn't go to the side. It goes diagonally to my rear. That's where I need to let my opponent get to. So as I stand in my boxing structure, as he hits a certain line, back about here, that's when I start my advance into my kick. So I'm in my boxing structure. He starts to circle. When he gets to the right spot, I cross step. How far I cross step varies depending on how far away he is. I cross step, kick, and come down in my structure. That's one way to get into the structure. Kick first, use the structure as I'm teaching you as protection after the kick. Recovery out of the structure is always easy if you choose the right timing, which is you're safe, he's backed out, boom, orient yourself back for anterior weapons. Pretty simple, not that complicated, very intuitive. Another way to get into structure, another way to get into your side kick, which puts you into the structure, is now the opponent is not orbiting me, but I still want to side kick him for whatever reason. Well, my front foot can jag step across. That creates the same alignment as if the opponent had orbited me, right there. Here and step. So I can be facing the camera, step, kick, and back down to my structure. If I do that correctly, the elapsed time is very small. I'll give you a view of this from the side. So I'm here, my opponent is this way, I can be back here, I can be here, step, boom, come down to your structure. And the third way I want to show you today, these are basic methods, there are other methods, many other methods, is to go into a defensive side kick. Now what I mean by that is I'm in my structure, in my boxing structure, and I shift back. I put my weight on my back foot. It's very simple. If the opponent's been around and he's seen this before, he'll probably adjust what he's doing. But it's stunning how many people will foolishly continue to come right straight towards you and walk right into your side kick. And again, if he fakes, you throw the side kick, you tap down, and now he's coming in for real, that's when your second kick should catch him. I can't emphasize enough, I can't tell you this too many times. You must be able to follow a side kick with another side kick. If you can't, you have no business side kicking as part of your offense. Period.